All right, guys, we're going to continue practicing writing equations. So this is kind of day 2 of very similar stuff, but we're going to look at a few more examples and ways to do it. Okay, so this is just kind of review from the last video. Write the equation in slope-intercept form that has a slope of -1 and goes through this point. So they're asking for slope-intercept form. So that is y equals mx plus b. We know m is -1, so I'm actually going to go ahead and put in -1 there. But I don't know b. So that's where we're going to plug in 3 for x and -2 for y, and we're going to solve for b. So we've got -2 is y, -1 times my x of 3 plus b. Simplify. -1 times 3 is -3. Solve for b. Add 3 to get b by itself. So when I simplify that, I get b is equal to 1. So I have m, I have b. We can write in slope-intercept form. M is -1, which you can write -1, or you can just write -x, remember. And then +1 is the b, so plus b. All right, so now we're going to look at an example where they don't give you the slope, they just give you 2 points. So here's the strategy we're going to use. We're going to use our slope formula, y minus y over x minus x, to find the slope. And then we're going to do the process we just did, where we're going to solve for b. And then once we have m and b, we can write our equation. Okay, so first we're going to find our slope. So here's our 2 points. So I'm going to do y minus y. So m equals -8 minus 2 over -2 minus 3. And I get -10 over -5. Negative divided by negative is +2. So my slope is 2. So we got slope. So now if I were writing my equation, y equals 2x plus, but I still don't know b. So now just like that warm-up problem or review problem, we are going to plug in an x and a y and solve for b. Now here's the cool thing. You can use either one. You could use this first point or the second point. They're both on this line, so it doesn't matter. We could do either one. I'm going to use this first one. 2 for y, 3 for x, and solve for b. So continue this guy up here. So I've got 2 equals 2 times 3 gives me 6. Get b by itself, so subtract 6. And I get -4 is our b. So now I have m is 2, b is -4. We can write our equation. Y equals m2 times x plus b. B is -4. All right, we're going to do 2 more just like that. Okay, write the equation in slope-intercept form. Goes through these 2 points. Find the slope first. So slope formula, y minus y, so 1 minus -3 over 4 minus 2. Remember, 2 negatives there is going to become plus. So 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. Reduce to get just 2. All right, and then we need it to go through a specific point. So I'm going to write my equation, but I don't know b, so we're going to pick one of these points to use to find b. So I'm going to use that first one again. -3 is y, 2 is my x, and we're going to solve for b. So when I do that simplifying, I get -3 equals 4 plus b, subtract 4. -7 is equal to b. So we have m is 2, b is -7. We can write our equation. 2x minus 7 equals y. All right, one more just like that. Okay, y minus y to get our slope on the top, 10 minus -2 over 3 minus 1. Simplify, 10 plus 2, 12. 3 minus 1 is 2. And reduce down, 12 divided by 2 gives me a slope of 6. So y equals 6x plus b. Got to do our work to find b next. So I'm going to use that first point again. -2 is my y. 1 is the x. Solve for b. -2 equals 6 plus b. So subtract 6. So we get -8 is our b. So slope of 6, y-intercept of -8. Our equation is going to be y equals 6x minus 8. All right, so 3 thorough examples of how to write an equation through 2 points. Okay, so we're gonna look at a couple more like that, you guys, but we're gonna have something kind of unique happen. All right, so if you guys notice here, my x's match. Now, if you didn't pick that up right away, that's okay. You could start by doing your slope formula just like normal. 2 minus -4 over 3 minus 3. But in that case, I'm going to get 6 divided by 0. Remember, we cannot divide by 0. This is undefined. As soon as you have an undefined slope, you know it's a vertical line, which is always x equals. It's the only form that has x equals. So x equals what? Well, it equals that number that it goes through. So whatever that common matching x coordinate is, that is the number that it goes through. So that is the equation of the line. So if you get an undefined slope, it is x equals, and then you look at that matching x coordinate to get the number that it's equal to. All right, this one is going to be kind of similar, but the y's match. So this one, we're going to have something different happen. So when I do my slope formula, I get -1 minus -1 over 4 minus 7. So in this case, I'm going to get -1 plus 1, which is 0, over -3. 0 divided by anything, that's okay when 0 is in the top. It just equals 0. So you could write it like this, y equals 0x plus b, and you could plug in your point for x and y, and you could solve for b that way. Or you could recognize anytime you have a 0 slope, that is a horizontal line. And horizontal lines always are y equals a number. And what number? It's that y coordinate that matches. So you can still do the same process we did on those first 3 examples, you guys, and you will get the same exact meaning. Y equals 0x minus 1. Same process. This is just a little bit shorter if you recognize right away that if you have 0 slope, it's just going to be y equals that number. All right, last one. Write the equation line in slope-intercept form that goes through these points. So I'm going to use my slope formula, y minus y, so 3 minus 5, over 6 minus 0. All right, so this is something that if you guys get used to picking this up is really, really helpful. If you say 0 and then a number, remember that is the y-intercept. So we're not going to have to do any work to find b. B is going to be 5. So if you recognize that, awesome. If you don't, you could do the same process where you find your slope, plug in your x and y, and solve for b. You will get the same thing. You'll still end up with b equals 5. This, again, is just kind of a nice shortcut that if you recognize it, saves you some time. Simplify to get our slope here. So we get -2 over 6. We're going to reduce. So I'm going to keep that as -1/3, but keep it as a fraction so that I can see rise and run. And I can write my equation, -1/3 x, and we recognize the b is 5. All right, guys, so all of that was using 2 points to write an equation. Couple things just to remember to look for. If you see 0 and then a number, that's your b, that's your y-intercept. If you see matching y's, it's a horizontal line through that number, so y equals that number. If you see matching x's, it's a vertical line, and it's x equals that matching number. All right, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.